Hello. Welcome to Rambles, Rants, and Reviews. Reviews. I have had a week. I had a lot of overtime this week. Several of my coworkers decided this would be a good week to take off for various reasons. And I am not done yet, but I'm set to get 70 hours in this week. So that's fun. um, anyway, and Wednesday, I took my queen to go get some labs done. And while we were waiting for the labs to get done, I got bit by a bed bug. And apparently, I am super allergic. Not like I had to go to the hospital allergic, but it was pretty intense, and which is kind of good because usually with bed bugs you don't react immediately because they use like a type of anesthesia to keep you from noticing that they bit you and sucked your blood out. So I reacted immediately, so I was able to find it in my shirt and not let it go home with me because it would have. And that could have been bad because they're a pain to get rid of. Anyway, so today's the first. The rotation's weird. Today's the first day that I was able to put my necklace back on because it got me. Mirrors are difficult. It got me really good. All through here, over here. It's mostly better now. I took Benadryl for 2 days and put anti-itch cream on it, and it still itches. Anyway, it it's fine. It's just a lot. And then because we were out and all of that, I did get a stream on Wednesday like I wanted to, and then on Thursday we were out all day helping someone else get rid of their bed bugs, which was really just escorting them around while they got sprayed. So that was fun. Definitely did a lot of laundry and sprayed and everything just in case, but we never had any here. It just nerve wracking, especially with me reacting so strongly to them. Anyway, that is not what this is about. So, because I had not felt pretty or attractive and had raging hives on my neck and shoulder, I haven't really done anything except read this week, which is cool. I haven't been reading anything probably since the last book review I did, which has been a few months, and that was honestly the first book I'd read that wasn't like a webtoon in forever. So, but I read a whole bunch of books. I read The Outside, The Space Outside by the KO. It is a collection of comics about non-binary people. And it was really good. I know I've recommended a book before for telling people who are not non-binary, kind of explain what non-binary is. If you are non-binary, this is the book that I would recommend you, because what you need to hear is not what it is. You need to hear that you're not alone, and there's all the ways that you can be. You were valid. You were not faking. Yeah. So, and it's a comic form through a whole bunch of different people's perspectives, and it is awesome. I highly recommend it. That is The Outside, and that was compiled by the KO. I also read My Shadow is Purple because I don't know, I'd seen it before, and I wanted to see how everything was represented. And I think it was well done. That was by Scott Stewart. Definitely more of a children's book, but it was just one I had seen, and yeah. I'm sure it gets the grief that a lot of the, I don't know. I don't know what I want to say there, but I feel like it probably does get portrayed as oversimplifying you know, things, which I mean is fair, but it's not made for adults. It should be pretty simple. Um, anyway, I don't know. I thought it was cute, and I left it at that and didn't dive in deeper to it. Um, and then I read Bananapants by Reid, which was really, really good. It is a romance about two people, like most romances are, unless they're a story about Polly. If anyone has any good romance recommendations for Polly that isn't just like werewolf packs, let me know. Um, anyway, I um I really liked the book. It was funny and good, and I want to say something specific about it, but I don't know what. I really don't. Like, I don't really want to say, oh, this is what's going on, and it's very um, Mr. and Mrs. Darcy type energy, which I mean, it is. There's that to it. And like, I don't know. I think it was a very good portrayal of a person who has some neuro spicy things going on, but is not defined in any such way in the book. And then someone who had very unstable bipolar and how they dealt with that, and the main childhood friends, and a whole bunch of things. And yeah, it was good. I recommend it highly. Yeah. And I mean, it's called Bananapants, which is a great title. So you should read it. It was fun. It was cute. It was uplifting. Yeah. I also read Key Lime Sky by Hess, which was about a non-binary autistic person. Does that is that like on track? Like statistically, if you're non-binary, are you more likely to be autistic? Is that like something that there's research for? I mean, I'm not saying that my my undiagnosed ass is, but um, I think I think there might be some correlation there, and I don't know if it is just the having trouble finding your way through social situations that makes non-binary as appealing as it is. So then there is a correlation there. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, uh, it was sci-fi romance, and it was very good. I liked it. It made me smile. The couple was cute, and there was aliens, so it's cool. Um, it's so terrible at actually recommending books. It made me happy, and it was good. Yeah. I felt very represented by both Bananapants and Key Lime Sky. And the romance was very good in both of them, that it felt realistic and enjoyable. So representation and not super fake. That's where I'm at. It was good. Yeah. I also reread Extras by Scott Westerfeld. I just want to say this book came out in 2007, which is 2 years before Minecraft came out. And it focuses very heavily on um, a city that has moved completely to a reputation economy. So basically, the more famous you are, the more you can have. And that's it. Because all of your basic essentials are taken care of, because that's just how that world works. They already kind of had everything figured out. You can have all your medicine and all your food, free housing. I'm not sure how that works. I'm assuming there's some level of housing that everyone is provided. And yeah, so, and then anything extra, you're only get by doing good deeds and getting merit points, or by being popular. And the main character really, really wants to be popular. And they're going to find a way to do that. But anyway, it is very, for when it came out, and like, I know like streams and all of that were kind of starting to take off, but like, I don't know, ahead of its time in a lot of ways. And I just think it's good, especially if you did read the first three books in the series, which is Uglies, Pretties, and Specials. But I do think it stands well up on its own, and it felt relevant for me doing what I've been doing. So I would highly recommend it. It was a good book. That came out 19 years ago and feels like it could have been written very much today. But yeah. So that's what I've been doing. We did also, while we were escorting the individual who had bed bugs and needed to get them sprayed and couldn't get themselves out of their own house, we did go to a bin store, and I got a new dress. I got a lot of new things. It was $1, and I like it because it's very flowy. I got the glasses too. Probably not as good of a deal as the dress, but I think they're cute. um, Also, and this is just something I've been thinking about, so I'm throwing it in here. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I keep running into Mennonites when I am going to the store. And it feels like we're both two sides of the spectrum of, I don't know, outside the social norms. But yeah, I don't know. It, like, they are the ultra conservative sect versus me being the ultra liberal sect. I don't know. And it's weird. And I was kind of comparing how people interact with me versus how people interact with them. Yeah. Is there anything there? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't get taken places by horse and buggy. I drive my car. It's great. I do think they are further away. Obviously, full Amish, where they're not willing to do any of the electric stuff and the car stuff, are way further than I am, considering that they don't buy into any of the capitalist trapping. I mean, I don't say that they don't, but like, they're so much further away from said capitalist trappings, and I am stopping to buy dresses from the bin store when I can. So, but I don't know. Today was the first day I could wear my necklace after having the hives, that it did not drive me crazy, and I was very happy because I was missing my necklace. Anyway, so if you are non-binary, highly recommend The Outside. It was a great collection of comics about being non-binary. It made me feel very happy, and I wish I had had that like 15 years ago. It would have been a great resource for me to have grown up with instead of the resources that I had. Not that I didn't have good resources, because I did, but at the same time, there was definitely a lot less. So, Key Lime Sky was really good, and I highly recommend it. It is a very good queer romance that features a non-binary character as the protagonist, who also is the word that I have, except I'm not diagnosed. Autism. That's the one. Oh, one of the things that I'm undiagnosed with. Anyway. And then Bananapants by Reid. Very good romance. It alternates between the perspectives of the characters. One who is actually diagnosed with ADHD and unstable bipolar, which I guess by the time most of the story happens, it is stable bipolar. And then the female character who is undiagnosed but has some stuff. She definitely could relate to the other main character. Anyway, and if you think that the current most of the important everyday jobs are going to AI, and that you are feeling out of place and you need to do something, and what you're doing is trying to become famous on the internet, Extras by Scott Westerfeld from 19 years ago is super relevant. Anyway, all the loves. I appreciate you listening to me and hanging out, and yeah. I don't know. But spinnies? I want to do spinnies. Let's do spinnies. I really love this dress. Just saying. It is super plain fabric, but it's very comfy and it has poofy shoulders, which makes me feel less weird about my ginormous shoulders. So. All the loves.